Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a good, warm afternoon in case it is winter out here. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to stay warm myself. Well, in this video today, you see this guy right here, Richard Tillerhouse Publishing, gonna tell you about his video, about this man. He goes around, he promoted, his hate-filled speech to young people. But guess what? There's a surprise at the end. Let me show you what happened. Let me tell you the story.
We begin tonight with a stunning reaction from a neo-Nazi at the center of an exclusive News Channel 5 investigation, now celebrating his possible role in influencing a deadly school shooting. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Rory Johnston. Last night, we first revealed how that neo-Nazi targets online video chats that are popular with children, trying to spread his hate. Well, John Minadio was watching, and his reaction is something you have to see for yourself. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, continues his confronting hate investigation. Phil, this man apparently has no shame.
None at all. Last night we reported that the shooter at Antioch High School left behind a manifesto that included material from John Minadio and his Goyim Defense League. So when he went back online later in the evening, I expected he would deny any connection. That was not what happened. And again, a warning, we've bleeped his words, but the cruelty may be tough for some people to take.
When I see these kids, getting pumped up, saying it's white power, and they're getting ready for what's happening because they're having to go live through this as children, I don't take back any of that at all.
On his latest podcast episode, neo-Nazi John Minadio was unapologetic as he played video from News Channel 5's investigation into his activities. How he goes into online spaces frequented by kids.
You look like an ugly
berating children of color he meets there.
Now, why do we allow Jews to control all of our media?
And grooming white children to accept his hate, urging them to arm themselves.
You need to be at the shooting range. Get ready to kill.
And to get ready to kill. What I didn't expect was him to fully embrace the notion that he and his group, the Goyim Defense League, might have played some role in influencing the deadly shooting last year at Nashville's Antioch High School. The 17-year-old shooter left behind a manifesto that indicated he had been influenced at least partly by Minadio's hateful propaganda.
Yes! Yes! Let's go! Influencing to kill. Yeah, propaganda's so strong over here. Let me get all these to kill each other.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar, where you can drill deeper into our 9 to 13%.
This sick bastard promoted that shit, right? But this is what. Guess what happened to him recently? Shout. What that same news channel revealed this time. Oh, it's gonna shock you what I'm about to show you. Then thank God this happened, because how many people he was about to go out there, and there's people that would listen to that and act on it. And in this video also, I'm going to show you the psychic of some of these people who have obsession with race, particularly when it comes to when it comes to black and brown. And it's like, what's your deal with the black and brown stuff? But it's just like, people are so obsessed with race. And then they put it on black people, like, who point this out. Then they flip the mold and say that you're being racist. But anyway, this is what happened to him.
An attorney for a national civil rights organization is celebrating recent defeats for a neo-Nazi group that stirred up trouble here in Nashville and hopes this is a sign of more to come. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. The latest blow for the so-called Goyim Defense League came when its websites were recently taken down following News Channel 5's Confronting Hate investigation. Still, that is not stopping the neo-Nazis from trying to make a comeback.
News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams spoke with an attorney who's leading the charge to hold the group responsible for its actions. And Phil, he thinks your investigation is what helped put this group on the defensive, right?
That, along with his group's own efforts, including a new lawsuit filed just today. Just like it did with the Klan and other neo-Nazi groups, the Southern Poverty Law Center has now set its sights on neo-Nazi leader John Minadio and his Goyim Defense League. Now, these mugshots showed 3 GDL members who were convicted on criminal charges just in the past year for their activities here in Nashville.
Well, first of all, congratulations, because what you did is knock him off of what is the most common domain, like the .com, right?
Scott McCoy, the Deputy Legal Counsel for the Southern Poverty Law Center, is talking about our investigation of neo-Nazi John Minadio and his Goyim Defense League.
What's up, man? How are you? Good, man. How old are you?
10.
Awesome, man.
That investigation recently revealed how Minadio was going into video chat rooms where children often hang out, berating children of color while trying to recruit white kids, urging them to get guns and to get ready to kill. We now know that after News Channel 5 Investigates reached out to the companies providing services for Minadio's websites to ask if his activities violated their rules, it was the domain registrar that yanked his .com domains, taking those websites down.
Deplatforming these folks from things like .com, .org, .net, which are the big ones, right, is actually a really meaningful thing to do. Because what we're worried about is them having a broad platform in order to, traffic in this hate.
Hopefully, we get our website back. Obviously, the viewership is plummeted.
Minadio was soon back online,
Do you avoid in public?
even continuing to interact with children, this time using an obscure web domain that, by his own admission, was harder for people to find.
And the more obscure the domain name is, the more obscure the platform is, the harder it is, to be found, honestly. And also, it's worthwhile because it makes them expend time and energy rebuilding what they had before.
And Minadio has since complained in a Telegram post that he had 3 accounts gassed on X, what used to be Twitter, but that he would be back soon with an under-the-radar account, which Scott McCoy noted means he has to start over.
It is a game of whack-a-mole, let's be honest. I mean, it is just a nature of the modern internet. It is very expansive. You can, eventually find someone to host this kind of content. But it does make a difference.
Now, what I've heard from some of John Minadio's followers is, well, you're anti-First Amendment, you're anti-free speech. What's your reaction to that?
I believe in the First Amendment, and absolutely it's out there. The problem is when their First Amendment speech crosses over into conduct and incites conduct, and that's when there's a problem.
In the summer of 2024, the Goyim Defense League was involved in a violent attack on a downtown bar employee, as well as a nighttime assault on a young Jewish man. This year, GDL member Ryan Scott McCann from Canada was convicted and sentenced to almost 4 years in prison for those assaults. Louis Edward Dunn from Arizona was indicted for his role in the assault on the Jewish man and is awaiting trial. David Aaron Boyett from Texas was convicted for his online threats against Nashville DA Glenn Funk and sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. And GDL member Travis Keith Garland from East Tennessee pleaded guilty to trespassing at Nashville's Jewish Community Center. He was sentenced to 11 months, 29 days in jail.
Is his gun out?
Yeah, he's gonna shoot me.
He's gonna shoot me. I'm reporting.
That stems from a separate incident where Garland tried to force his way into Nashville's Gordon Jewish Community Center wearing a rabbi costume.
We want them to be punished for what they did, the conduct that they did to our client.
Now, the Southern Poverty Law Center has filed a civil rights behalf of the bar employee, hoping to make Minadio and his crew pay for their conduct. A federal judge recently ruled that the case can proceed.
And so now we move forward into discovery, where we get to take their depositions and we get to seek information from them and other things to learn more about what they did and to support the claims that we're bringing.
Add to that a new lawsuit that SPLC filed over the anti-Semitic incident at the Jewish Community Center, all part of an effort to send a message that this kind of hate has no place in America. That second lawsuit was filed just this afternoon. It accuses the group, including Minadio and another prominent GDL figure, Paul Miller, of conspiring to violate the rights of area Jews with that incident at the Jewish Community Center. Ironically, Minadio and Miller are now engaged in a major feud with each other, giving each other a dose of the hate that they've inflicted on people who don't look and think like them. Of course, we'll keep following both of these lawsuits.
You know, I usually don't say this, but when you start going at young people like this, this is a nice certain place that God need to put you in. Them will say it like that. You know, when you push in this rhetoric, and that's what produces the Dylan Roofs and all these other people that go out there and unalive innocent people. This is what this hatred have done. You know, these people are sick, man. And guess what? There's more of them. Check out with this young brother.
You use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
You're not accountable for what you say if you're black. No more white guilt.
Yeah, I'll do it, Roman, while you do it.
All right. Get the f*** out of here, you stupid
Running around in nails like this, running around in earrings like this, like you people fight every day. Seriously. They wear wigs that can be pulled out. They put braids in their hair that could rip the rest of their hair out, and then they complain about having alopecia.
So lately, there's been a surge in racist content creators, and it seems like this problem is starting to grow more and more every single day. Not only is this content extremely pathetic, but it's only targeting one group of people, and I'm sure we can all guess who that is. You got it, black people. All of this content follows the same formula every time. They target black people, they push stereotypes, and then they play victim when they're called out about it. So one excuse that a lot of these content creators use to justify their racism is freedom of speech. And they claim that their main goal is to give white people real freedom of speech, as if that doesn't already exist.
You are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away.
So, that's really what the movement's about. You call them into their face and you go about your day-to-day life. This is America. You're not going to starve me. You're not going to kill me. You're not going to scare me into not exercising my freedom of speech. I'm going to push the envelope as much as I can. I'm not inciting violence. When they chip out, I call them a chimp. Shut up, dumbass.
If somebody wants to be a racist piece of shit, I think they should be able to. You want to go out and say the N-word? Go ahead.
Dude, could we all just stop fucking pretending we don't make these jokes in private? It's like, dude, I'm just someone who's fine with pushing the limits on free speech.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
When they say that they're fighting for free speech, they're really only fighting for the freedom to be openly racist.
If someone paid you $100,000, would you leave America and go back to Africa? Let's say you had 100 rats in in a cage, and 13 of those rats were causing 60% of the issues in that cage. What should we do with those 13 rats?
This is the type of content that they want to be able to put out with no consequences behind it. It's not about free speech. They just want to be able to put out hate speech directed towards us. Think about it. If it was truly about free speech, then they would defend free speech for everyone, not just racist speech from white content creators. Notice how they never show up when a black creator is silenced or mass reported. Their movement only activates when somebody loses their right to say the N-word or is being reprimanded for racist behavior. And a perfect example of this is the Charlie Kirk situation. When Charlie Kirk died, they didn't want you talking about him. You couldn't say anything negative. Freedom of speech went out the window.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer. We don't believe in political violence, but we do believe in civility. And there was no civility in the celebration of political assassination.
Texas Tech student has been expelled after publicly celebrating Charlie Kirk's death with video of the incident going viral. The governor reposted the video, thanking the university for taking action. Texas Tech Board of Regents Chairman Cody Campbell reposted the governor's statement saying, quote, "We are proud of our values and are not afraid to stand up for them."
But when it comes to us and shaming black people and talking about us in a negative light, freedom of speech is back on again. They call it free speech because them coming out and saying how much they enjoy attacking black people doesn't sound heroic enough. So they rebranded harassment as patriotism. They rebranded hate speech as courage and racism as activism. If they really cared about freedom of speech, then you wouldn't see them hiding behind edited clips. You wouldn't see them hiding behind hand-picked guests that they have coming on their show to push their hateful rhetoric, and they wouldn't be hiding behind disrespectful setups. The only thing that they want is an easy target. With this clip that I showed you earlier, right? The white guy is a hand-picked guest. They already know the type of behavior that he shows on his own platform, and they already know that he's gonna show that same behavior on their platform, and he's even encouraged to do so. But the reason why this is a setup is because the women that are around him are unfamiliar with who he is, so they don't know what they're walking into. Imagine how much self-hate you have to be dealing with to allow somebody outside of the culture to come onto your platform to spit hateful rhetoric about your own people. It's shameful. And honestly, it wasn't even funny. And I find a lot of things funny. And not only that, but he's disrespecting you too on your own platform. Those women didn't do anything to deserve that. And that's another point. They usually only pick on women. Yeah, they'll have a few altercations with guys every now and then, but majority of the time, it's only women. They are right about freedom of speech laws in this country, but what they don't seem to understand is just because you have freedom of speech does not mean you are free from the consequences that come behind it. And then when they're met with those said consequences, now they want to cry and play victim.
So yes, I have officially been demonetized on YouTube, which was my sole form of income. Aside from a few tiny little outlets here and there, YouTube was my main money maker. And I'm kind of stupid. I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't plan ahead. I live in the moment. I put it all out there. I'm an open book. I live with my heart on my sleeve. You know, if I say something, I mean it. They're trying to keep a real down. They're trying to keep a real down. That's what they're trying to do because they cannot handle the truth. And this is just the facts. When you come speaking the truth about certain things, if you're raising racial awareness, let's say, if you are, heaven forbid, pro-white or a pro-white voice out there, which I am, which I always will be, and will always influence my content no matter what it is, they will try to keep you down.
Nobody is trying to keep you down. You
No.
got punished for hate speech and racist
Exactly.
content. I don't get this mindset of whenever you do something wrong and you get punished for that action, now it's, oh, they're trying to keep me down, they're trying to silence me. No, you just broke terms of service. They told you before you even join the platform what's allowed and what's not allowed. And you decided to go against that. You went out of your way and purposely wore blackface. You utter racial slurs in almost every video. You put out racist content daily. What did you think was gonna happen? Nobody's trying to keep you down. They're holding you accountable. And then they go as far as to trying to convince their own audience that there's this force that's against them trying to hold them back. It was all fun and games when you were on Piers Morgan and you were laughing about how racist you were and how you just say the N-word willingly, unprovoked. But now that you're being hit with consequences, it's a problem. And honestly, the only problem here is that YouTube took so long to demonetize your channel. This should have been happening a long time ago.
We just happen to be talking about it. We're just not lying. We're just telling the truth.
No, you're not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth about anything. This is pure manipulation and delusion. Because I guarantee the next step is to request support from her fan base. You didn't follow the rules, and now you want your supporters to come bail you out. And that right there is white privilege at its finest.
Whether it's the press writing articles on us, videos getting taken down, that other channels are not getting taken down and it's the same exact content or whatever it may be. Rumble getting hit, right, for free speech. Video, like, just getting strikes, whatever it may be. Guys, it's gotten to the point now where even where we shoot the location doesn't want us to stay here. I mean, we've talked about this with Andrew at length. Like, people don't want you guys to get this message to. Even Rumble's under attack, too. For everybody. Yeah. They're trying to shut Rumble down.
I think at some point there was free speech where it was like, okay, you know what? Say what you gotta say. We'll crucify you. But nowadays, free speech is kind of like, is it even a thing? I mean, not really.
Man, ain't nobody trying to hear that fake little sob story. Don't forget, these are the same people that treat women like this.
No! That's the behavior, so it is what it is. I'm offended by a word. You are retarded. Who gives a They're behaving like it's true. Man. All right.
And it's the same people that allow other guests to come on a platform and disrespect women.
I was trying to dismiss you because your broke ass bitch want to get a babysitter who's talking about you gotta go home and get a girl. Go home, Tilla. Go home, Tilla. Go ahead, leave your business, nigga. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A lot of people fall for these content creators because they say the quiet part out loud. And a lot of people really agree with what they're saying, but they just don't have the courage to say it out loud themselves. Not only that, but they simplify complex problems like systematic racism, politics, history. They make it seem like it's one solution or it's one party that you can blame and all of it will go away. But that's never going to be the case. Because at the end of the day, it's easier for them to just blame a specific group rather than trying to actually understand these issues. But at the end of the day, what people don't realize is this type of content has real world impacts. They influence political beliefs, they reinforce stereotypes, they fuel hate crimes, they normalize disrespect towards specific groups, in most cases it's black people, and they create environments where people think racism is just opinions. And the line between online content and offline violence is not theoretical, it's actually proven with data. At the end of the day, it's not entertainment. It's really just propaganda masked as personality.
Please be here in a couple seconds. That's fine.
Absolutely. He's spot on with that one. Shout out to his channel. But you think this is something I just saw recently. Shout out to young Don Reeds. He said about this one. Now, this is the joke about white supremacists. Now you have a lot. The top of the ladder, it's not white supremacists. It's brown supremacists trying to be white supremacists. Check this out.
When he goes and says something they don't like, they're going to point that out. Hey, you're half Mexican. Like, his sister is Mexican. She looks Latina. She's with a Latina dude, like, as her boyfriend.
Really?
Like, that's going to come up. When he says something...
Wait! Bro, what? Are you kidding me? This man is not white. Bro, I don't know what this reality is anymore. This video is insane. Check this out. The whitest white nationalists on X are literally brown. They're brown. Video by the amazing Lucas. You don't appreciate this shit. Yeah, wait, just check this out.
What is going on?
I don't fucking know anymore, man. This is insane.
Oh, my God.
We are living in clown world.
So, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it seems that white nationalism has been infiltrated by brown people.
Yeah.
As crazy as that may sound,
yeah.
Right? I'm hearing what I'm saying. And
Bro, some of the loudest white supremacists on the internet are fucking brown, bro. It's crazy.
I don't believe it, but that seems to be the case.
Yeah.
Most recently, we had Nikki Haley's son, okay? He's on an interview with Tucker Carlson.
Okay.
And he's talking about, immigration, I don't even know where to begin. You know, no naturalized citizen should be able to run for office. And, you know, these foreign students, we got to be taking care of our own.
And there's so many different aspects to immigration that it's not just the migration part of it, but a lot of other
things that are just.
Bro, shut the fuck up. First of all, he still sounds, looks, and acts like a child. Just his mannerisms. He's not. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Out of control. Like what?
You're just saying things that you think you're supposed to say to get white validation, but you can tell this guy is still a child.
Naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. We need to stop and limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our universities. Some of them are spies, by the way, for foreign governments. But it's also just
He's talking just like Tucker Carlson, by the way. Do you see it? Some of them are spies, by the way. That's Tucker Carlson, bro.
To hold public office.
He's copying the guy he's speaking to.
We need to stop and limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our universities. Some of them are spies, by the way, for foreign governments. But it's also just we should put our kids first.
Yes. And bro, he's like, yes, you are saying all the right things. Good job.
I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, is he crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Right,
because he's an immigrant. Clearly. He's an immigrant.
For those of you who don't know, he is the son of an immigrant.
For sure.
Nikki Haley, that's not even her real name. Her real name is like Nimrata Randhawa, okay?
Wow.
That's her real...
So, there actually are a few things that scream trying to get white validation, like changing your name, bro. Now, look, I get it to some degree, right? You come from fucking China, your shit sound like, I don't know, a fucking wind chime blowing in the breeze. It's like, yeah, just fucking call me John, dude. I get it, I get that. But sometimes you can see that these people, the driving force is that white validation.
Name, bro. Like, she came here, the only reason she is a citizen is via birthright citizenship.
Right.
You know, something that was done for the slaves, the black American slaves at the time. Yeah, that's how she became a citizen. Her parents weren't even citizens at the time of her birth.
Wow.
Okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? And we have this Indian man, this Indian kid talking about, oh, you know, the foreigner students. Fool, you are the foreigner student.
They're so delusional, it's insane.
What are we talking about?
They're so
crazy.
delusional, it's insane.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm making crazy now.
Yeah.
Do you understand how delusional you have to be talking like this?
Right.
Talking about immigration. Like, the only reason you are here is because of immigration.
Right.
Damn. Then we go, Vivek Ramaswamy, and him talking about immigration. Now, he got his wake-up call pretty recent, so his tune has definitely changed. He got his wake-up call when it came to Doge. He was talking about, listen, the white mediocrity is destroying the country. And they're like, what? Get your Indian self out of here. And they kicked him out real fast, okay? Because when it was brought up...
And the sick thing is, they're only doing this because they want to get closer to power. That's all this is. They believe that by aligning with the white supremacist power structure, they will enrich themselves and give themselves more power.
Yes.
But if these people didn't have this power, I promise you, they would not glaze white people or white culture to any degree. I mean, they already try to act. When they want to be cool and when they want to be cultured, they act like brown people, right? Especially black people. But when they want to climb the ladder, the class hierarchy, they glaze white people. It's so pathetic.
With him, he was like, well, we're all, you know, birthright citizens. Well, that's what we're all are. It's like...
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
He's not.
Okay. And your mother, when did your mom take the citizenship test? Was it before or after you were born?
After I was born.
So you gained citizenship through birthright.
Yeah. He's an anchor baby.
Come on.
Vivek Ramaswamy is an Indian anchor baby fighting against immigration.
But you gained citizenship through birthright citizenship in that sense too, right?
You and I are not the same.
Right,
all right?
Sure.
You're not the same. And then when they try and tap dance for the white nationalists and for the racists, I'm like, do you think that because you're tap dancing for them, that they view you as one of them?
Right.
You're delusional. Another person, right? Amaru Fadul, the dude, right? That guy. also Myron Gaines, whatever. He got his wake-up call, even though he refuses to accept it.
He can't.
But there was a white guy who was like, "Yo, this is why I don't team up with with brown people."
With the sand eggers. That's what he called them. I'll say it since Lucas don't want to say it.
Myron, you were in MySpace the other day, and I said, you're doing a great job calling these Jews, but, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks, and would you go home? And you said, I was born here, but I'm not going anywhere.
But you know what's crazy? This guy's probably an immigrant too. Like, you go back a couple generations, they're probably sailing in on some fucking ship from somewhere. You know what I mean?
And this is where I think
it's like it's insane, bro.
Problem is with working with non-whites is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country.
What if the perfect business for introverts has been hiding in plain sight this whole time? No cold calling. No putting...
Let me chime in with my view on this one. See, this should be a lesson to everybody that try to claim, and it goes back what I said the last couple of years. Everybody want to be on a certain link in the totem pole. And these immigrants and their generations of their children tell them, you better than the other ones that you're lower. And one of the people they put on a lower scale is black people. Everybody comes off of black people. And so when Biden side, and you got some Afro and some Caribbeans try to do the same thing, have the same conservative points like these nationalists do. And the nationalists said, we don't care. We wanted a white country. They telling you in your face. And it's like you just believe, you think it's about status and class. It has nothing to do with status and class. Oh my goodness.
It's wild seeing this, even on Twitter.
These people are
so Twitter, if you guys aren't aware, Twitter had a policy that they were implementing where you could check someone's account and see where their account is based. Well, guess what? All of these white nationalist accounts, all of them were like either from, Nigeria, they were from India, it was everywhere but America.
Right.
So we're seeing all of this, white Aryan brotherhood, and it's, it's an Indian person, in Pakistan or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? What?
How do you do, fellow kids?
What? Right? It's wild to see. Now, my thought is that they're just doing that to get a paycheck, right? Because they're essentially exploiting the white ignorance. That's what they're doing. Rage baiting or pandering to these ignorants.
Right.
they're not white themselves. They don't even live in the state. But I guess X is paying them, right? Based off of clicks, based off of likes, based off of engagement. So they're like, hey, it's a win-win.
Isn't it true that you're really an Indian? By the many arms of Vishnu, I swear it is a lie.
But most notably would be, the leader of, like, the white nationalism right now would be, I would argue, it would be Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, this nigga is literally a Mexican, bro.
Nick Fuentes,
he's an immigrant, bro.
A Mexican, right? A half Mexican.
Bro, think about it. Who is the biggest, most influential conservative person on the right? That's a male. Mexican immigrant, bro, essentially. Yeah, he was born in America, but come on, you don't get the name Fuentes. That ain't something that goes back to the 1600s in America, 1700s in America. You know what I'm saying? And who is the biggest conservative woman? Candace Owens, a black immigrant. Right, yeah, she was also born here, but her people are from, like, fucking Barbados or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is insane. The white supremacist disinformation machine is being ran by brown immigrants, essentially. That's crazy. I mean, sure, I guess Nick passes for white, but he a Mexican, bro. See, he's calling himself Mexican, bro. Oh my gosh.
I saw that. Beta! It's just, it's wild to see. I'm like, all these white nationalists, is there one white person behind these accounts?
Wow.
Like, is there anyone who is not not.
So Nick wanna be Mexican when he talking to the police. That's interesting.
I don't know, Indian, Pakistan, Mexican.
All you white supremacists that are, eating up his, whites are the fucking gods of the earth bullshit. Know that. As soon as it's convenient to him, he gladly takes off the fucking white man mask and puts on a sombrero. You feel me?
Is there just a white dude who's like, hey, I'm for white people? It's wild to see, because now you have Nick Fuentes who's talking about, hey, I'll team up with anyone, all right? I think we should have health care. I think we should be for American people. Okay, I'll work with Ram Dami. I'll work with these people. I'll work with the left.
Populist Republicans and populist Democrats that just solve problems. Just solve problems for Americans. And by the way, I am willing to compromise with the left. 100%.
He's got to be listening to what I've been saying, because he even talks about white ignorance. Because someone was asking him, hey, should we have a literacy test when it comes to voting? He was like, no, because it's the ignorance who are holding this country together.
Thinking the problem is like uninformed people are voting. Uninformed people are the only thing keeping the country going.
He's out of line, but he's right.
The 20% of people that could find Iraq on a map are all liberals, okay?
Wow.
Because as I said before...
Bro, this is insane, man. First Trump. Now, look, Vivek, Trump, and Nick Fuentes have all acknowledged that the grand majority of the white conservative base are fucking stupid. Right? Trump and Vivek, they're talking about why we need H-1B1 visas because we don't have the qualified people. Nick Fuentes is like, look, if it weren't for all of these uneducated, uninformed people, the Republican Party would never have a chance. Guys, they're saying it to your face.
The majority of the Republican Party are low IQ, white ignorance. It just is what it is. That live in rural areas, right? Flyover states. And they're just, they're just being...
And you might think to yourself, well, hold on. We know plenty of very well-spoken, very intelligent, highly educated conservatives. Then why are they conservative, Don? If conservatism is for stupid people, how do you explain all of these wealthy, Ivy League graduates who are Republicans? Because they're playing you, dummy. They're playing you. They're getting you to vote in people that are going to pass policies that lowers their taxes. And so they pander to you. They pander to you and make you feel good about you being white. They tell you all of your problems. Notice this. When it comes to any brown person, any immigrant, black people, Latinos, anybody else, whenever we have some kind of problem in our community, when we need more resources, what do they tell us? Work harder. That's always the solution from the conservative leadership. Anytime you say, well, look, man, these issues are arising in these communities because they don't have access to enough resources. We need to put more No, they don't want to work hard enough. Have you ever heard a single conservative leader tell any of their poor white base that they just need to work harder? You've never heard it.
And they're just, they're just being propagandized to.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
They think, Trump's got, helping me out. Nikki Haley gonna vote, she gonna help me out. And it's like, bro, these people don't even live in your neighborhood, bro.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're on SNAP benefits, and they got you thinking that you getting kicked off your benefits.
Right.
You paying more for groceries. You not having health care is a win because black crime in Chicago. It's interesting to see because he's saying, hey, we need to do something for the American people. I'm more than happy to let in a group of people, to let in people and to rethink some of our strategies. And he even mentions, marginalized groups.
That's why I said we need to...
Attention network partners from 0 to 1,700.
Oh, this is hilarious, man. Oh my goodness. It's just that racist people are really dumb. They're really dumb. They really are. I mean, they try to make other people sound so less intelligent and trying to point out animalistic behavior in them, but at the same time, when you put it back in their face, oh, these people are so stupid. And then you got people gonna side with the racist people who are, some of them who are white, thinking that they're gonna get approved. I mean, it's like, and I guess they probably didn't watch some shows during the times of Donahue and Oprah Winfrey. Oh, they must, they probably, they were young, because back then, back in the early 90s and 80s, we would see these groups come on the line and TV, and they were so bold about being, with Nazis and white supremacists and nationalists and all this, and these people are trying to give in to them. Oh my goodness, this is a dumbass generation. It is like, man, it's like he pretty much telling you white Aryan race. Now their version of white Aryan race is someplace in Europe that they want with the theory come with the blonde hair, blue eye, Aryan stuff like this from certain parts of Europe. And they believe they tied it with Hitler and all these other people like this. And these people, these sick individuals like Hitler try to wipe out populations of people. They're trying to dominate the different parts of the world. Then when the Nazis fled, guess where they went? When they was getting their butt handed over in Europe, they went down to South America. How you gonna? They was, you're supposed to go down with the cause. You know what I'm saying? Nah. When these other groups, the European groups, were putting it on them, putting it on Hitler and his boys ran. Cause they couldn't take the heat. I mean, you're gonna die. I mean, at least one thing about the Islamic extremists, they'll go out all the way out for their race and their religion and shit, and they go out and believe their version of what their version of God is. When does a white supremacist ever do that? Or are they willing to take on? No, they don't. Put them over and let them fight against the Russian army. Let's fight for Ukraine, because a lot of these people over there in Nazi, and I wonder what happened to that Nazi group that the Ukrainian army has. I wonder how many members they still got over there. They show them fighting on TV and everything, and the Russians handled their butt to them. See, they talk all this stuff. They get filed up and violence. Us, okay, it's our white nation. Well, there's some your Ukrainian Nazis already want you over there. Want you go over to go fight with them. Once you go back and push back that far, but see, when it comes to real stuff, when they're getting the real served with the butt hand on to them, it's like it has to really take something like that. See, if you're gonna go out and do something, prepare. Why don't you go to war? Stop going to war on innocent people. Don't hit innocent targets, because you're a coward. My thing is to go once. I say that's what they should take. All the Nazis from America and other places, put them over in that war, and have Zelensky, because he needs some more men over there to fight against the Russians. Because you don't want to fight someone to look like you, right? And it's a Russian though, but hey, it's the cause, because a lot of those Nazis, they dedicate their heart and they dedicate their bump fist to Hitler. But ain't they your brothers in arms? I'm just saying. But you take it on some innocent Jewish people and immigrants and blacks, which means that they're cowards. And then when you confront them at high numbers, that the whole will turn on them. You will punk them down. See, they move in number. When we stand grander in numbers, we'll see, okay, let's all surrounded you. Because I'm going to show you the next story. And there's a history of what happened to the Klan and what this black men did. See, some black people didn't run away from the Klan. That's just one group. and he took some of them out. He took them. He went out, but he took some out. Just saying, be careful what you advocate, because whatever you advocate can come back on you. So that's the moral of that story. But see how they talk all this stuff, but when you confront them with it, and you confront them to the point that you're not going to enjoy your white life. Like if I don't get my life, you're not going to enjoy your white life. And like, hey, oh yeah, you're not coming back to Earth, because if I ain't come back to this Earth, you ain't come back to this Earth. So let's see how far we could, and some people are taking it like that. When the Ukrainian Nazis are fighting against the Russians, and then they have a branch of Islamists, people in Islam in Chechnya. See how the way they handle those Nazis over there. They beat, and they put it this way, when they had Azov, put it this way, they ain't come, all of them Chechnyans came back alive. So yeah, and part of some of the people that was in Zelensky's army was Nazis. Some of them, not everybody, but some of them were. But when it got to the real deal, because hey, you're supposed to be representing your country, you're supposed to be representing your culture. In some cases, I think you need to take some of your white people and say, you want to represent your race, you really want to, get all pumped up in the woods and practice gun and self-defense. Take it to the war front over there. Stop jumping on innocent people, antagonizing innocent people. That's what I say. But they won't. They'll go out, jump on an innocent Jewish person, an immigrant, or a black person, antagonize somebody, and then when somebody put their foot to hand to them, then they want to back down. But it's coming to the end. But anyway, I don't want to forget that segment. But look how, if they're so intelligent, why is this happening? You see what happened. I'm glad that sick bastard ain't able to spread it to the next generation. All right then, guys. Take care. Be blessed. Like and subscribe to next time. Be careful, and anybody don't. Hopefully some young person will be influenced by some low-minded, low IQ person like that. Take care.